Right? You didn't know if it was going to be the core, if it was going to be the 5 position, and now you know that this is going to be either a mid or offlane Death Prophet. They just picked the Ogre, a safe pick. The Bloodlust incredibly good at amplifying this troll's damage, and now you have Beastmaster Aura plus Bloodlust. It's going to be a scary troll.
10 seconds.
And you're just doubling down on your single target and how effective this offlane is going to be. And okay, we see the gyro from HFN. It's not a bad pickup versus the Beastmaster. It is one of the better safe lane heroes versus the Beastmaster. But again, I'm very skeptical, as now we're going to see 2 more bans coming out for these offlane heroes, and I'm not exactly sure what Oster's going to be left with. They're most likely going to ban out the Mars, but even after that, it's really rough. And with the gyro pickup, again, you've sort of cemented where is this Death Prophet going to go mid or 3? They've kind of held that fact unknown to us, but it still does not feel great, because if you have to send this Death Prophet versus Troll Ogre, that's a big reason why they picked the Ogre. It's just going to be abusive. It's just that double slow where even if you get 2 sucks off, the Troll's going to be on you. And once the Troll's on you, there's nothing you can do. It feels like 4 Zoomers just have such a strong draft so far.
Yeah, and level 1 Spirit Siphon, you only get 1 charge of that. So it's one of those scenarios where the first few levels, your Death Prophet is very squishy. Earth Spirit might be able to offer some assistance there, but looks like they will ban out the Razor, a really solid ban there, preventing, the static link into the Troll Warlord. As right now, he's kind of their primary source of damage outside of like Roar Necro units. But, I mean, they have so much damage from Tag Team. If Tusk gets a Necro book here too, this is going to be crazy.
It's just the flexibility of the Razor. As NoPing, they could still run it anywhere. But again, for Zoomers, they have last pick. They get to see everything. They get to clear the board. And I don't think NoPing have used their first pick advantage enough. I think 4 Zoomers have sort of played the game. And that's why they spent so much time in coming up with an AA ban. I don't think it's enough in this situation. Is what is AA really countering here? And there must be something deeper than this with this last pick that's coming from this AA ban, because at this point, I'm just very confused.
I mean, it's good against the Death Prophet, right? If you know it's a Death Prophet core, AA is one of those heroes that makes your game pretty miserable, but I don't know if that warrants the ban on it. I don't know if they would have picked the Ancient Apparition in the first place. And now you have this scenario where you're going to have last pick once again here on 4 Zoomers. You're going to see every lane and kind of make that educated decision on what hero you want to pick. And NoPing, I mean, it has to be an offlaner, right? If you run Death Prophet in the offlane, I feel like you're just going to be in so much trouble. But there's not many heroes left you can pick into the Troll.
And I feel like it has to be a stretch. It has to be a reach. We still could be seeing the Pango, one of the best offlaners we've seen of the patch, coming through. Again, we could maybe see the Enigma, another stretch, but just back to the Mars. And it's good. It's Mars. It is safe. It is static. But again, you've given 4 Zoomers exactly what they want. And again, if they wanted to, it is going to be a Death Prophet mid, so they're going to use this time to ascertain what they want to pick for Gunner. But I don't think you need to really change up anything for 4 Zoomers. It feels very akin to the previous draft, and they were very successful before. I feel like they're going to be successful again.
Yeah, this will be a pretty solid pick here for sure. I mean, a lot of Gunners, like staple heroes, are banned, obviously, like the Invoker, the Morphling. Kunkka's removed from the pool as well, but I mean, he can just go for the Void Spirit once again. His Ember Spirit's still in the pool. There's a lot of options. In my book, it just seems like he's probably going to go for the Void Spirit despite it being against the Death Prophet. It's not the best lane, but you have Dissimulate early that you can use to try and make some space between yourself and the Death Prophet and stop some of that damage from the Spirit Siphon. But maybe there's going to be a better option here. I mean, Storm seems pretty rough into the double silence of Earth Spirit Death Prophet.
When we saw in the previous game, there were still opportunities where once Oscar was able to get that blink, he was able to catch the Void Spirit out. But again, for Zoomers, it's not their style to lose any lanes. They want to win as many lanes as they can and then take that momentum and try to win everywhere else. And that's why I think they're molding over which hero they want to pick for Gunner. But again, the Void Spirit, the Storm Spirit, you can pick these heroes that sort of lose their lanes, and
it's Void Spirit.
It is just going to be Void. Yeah. And while he will struggle slightly versus the Death Prophet, we have the same value as before, where he's going to output so much control, especially whenever Doonha, he's not on that. The good thing is he's not on that Shadow Shaman again. He doesn't have that shackle that needs to sit there. But at the same time, he doesn't have that Hex. It's really up to his individual skill on the hero to sort of counter Gunnar. And oh, they're actually going to run the... Oh, wow. They're running the Mars mid. Okay, I like it now. I like this better.
Okay.
Giving the Mars a little bit of a better start, and then he'll finally be able to make those rotations that Oscar struggled with before Blink. Okay. I'm picking up what you're putting down, NoPing.
That's definitely a much better lane matchup too. Now, as far as like Death Prophet off lane, I think she's still going to struggle, right? This is not going to be like an easy lane for this Death Prophet to deal with. And as a result, I mean, Sammy's got to be happy once again. He had such a free game on the Juggernaut last time, and he's on a Troll Warlord who's going to have an Ogre Bloodlust to amplify his farming speed. So he's got to be pretty happy with how this game's looking.
And Oscar, it's basically a 1v1 at that point, as Husky, similar to the previous game, is just going to follow around Doonha. He's going to keep his plays pretty limited, and as soon as he leaves, and Doonha will assuredly leave to try and make sure that Gunnar doesn't get these runes, then we're going to see them go on to Oscar, and I'm not sure Oscar's going to be able to survive that, and that's when for Zoomers, they get that small lead, and it's that small lead that the for Zoomers, they like to get, they like to hold on to, and then they like to punish you. And again, they just have everything they want. They've got all of their comfort heroes. It's a complete for Zoomers draft.
It is. I mean, everything is looking pretty solid for them. You do have to be very wary of the arena call down combo. I mean, at some point here in the mid game, if you guys don't have your BKBs available and you do get a multi-man arena being an entire, 5 melee lineup, it's not that uncommon. You can get a huge arena into a call down. If you can't get on top of this gyrocopter, you might actually get completely wiped by the side of NoPing. So Zoomers will have to take the fights, when they're in their favor. But I think in the early mid game, you do got to be careful of that.
And that is something that, if anything, NoPing have doubled down on, is the team fight. They've got incredible team fight. They do have this exorcism. They've got the arena. They've got the call down. And this is much better than a Luna. It comes online way earlier. If anything, this is going to be the strength of the gyro at full force. And that's the real dominant hero that needs to show off in this game. Whereas, it looks like, are they swapping lanes?
So far, it looks like it. Brax heading to the top lane. He does have a ward. They wanted to be able to drop that. And the question is there an advantage to running the troll into the gyrocopter? I mean, I guess you can out CS him for sure, but Tusk is so good in this tri lane against the CM specifically too. So that they have a kill lane for sure.
Husky.
He walks down.
He's baiting a little bit.
Yeah, he gets the ignite onto two.
Here comes Ocean.
Here comes Ocean. There's your tag team, and they will give that first blood. Well, they're trying to give it to Sammy. Oh, they're giving it to Gunnar. What body blocks? What nice guys here.
Both supports body blocking. Just you got to be sad if you're Matthew. That's a pretty bad way to go. But they're sticking with their top lanes. They don't want to give up these bounty runes. And if anything, this is to secure Brax's lane. This is going to give him a matchup while he isn't able to kill the boar on the Death Prophet nearly as easily. We might see HFN making the long walk. Or is he blocking? I'm not sure. This heavily favors for Zoomers if they're able to call the bluff. Yeah, I think we see HFN trying to make the rotation. But Ocean,
Ocean's here just waiting. He's like, I dare you walk top, sir. And they will know. And as a result, Troll Warlord's going to also make the walk to top lane.
And Sammy's just already on it. He's already in that mid lane. There weren't even heroes hovering around. They were gearing up. And while they weren't able to claim all of the bounty runes, still, are they doing the double swap? Oh boy, I'm getting flashbacks. Some Jackie Mao games. The Hawk scouted the gyro going top. They're still calling the bluff.
Oh my god, they're swapping back.
My goodness.
And look at mid lane as a result. They have the vision and they're just like sitting here waiting for one of them to walk. Meanwhile, Ocean's like, yeah, I'll take lane. This sounds pretty good. I'll be carry Tusk.
It's the same with Husky. All the supports are sapping the XP. We're going to see some level 2s maybe popping early on the supports, but the bluff has been called. They're making the long walks, and it looks like I don't know. This is a crazy start to this game.
You love to see it.
If anything, we'll see if HFN makes the rotation now. Is they've got what they want on Zoomers, and Samuel will suffer a little bit. He is walking into a tri lane, but as soon as they ascertain the threat, I mean, Ocean's just running at Oscar now. He's level 2 Tusk versus a level 2 Death Prophet. It's quite sad for the DP.
Yeah, I mean, Tusk, you don't really care too much. That first Spirit Siphon goes down, and ooh, he actually misses the Crypt Swarm there. Mid lane, though. Gunner's starting to fall kind of low.
And that's just the power of this mid-Mars. Once you hit level 3, we'll see probably gets another level in the God's Rebuke, and it's so much damage versus Gunner. It just pops you.
Savvy Boy bottom lane. He's going to get rolled on. He's taking a lot of damage. This is going to be a kill. Well played by this tri-lane. Ends up going the way of Matthew, but Husky, he's just turned his attention to HFN, and he just slaps him down, the big ogre. Gonna lose his life for this one, but I think you're pretty okay with this. Matthew's taking a huge creep wave. The stun, a Husky, pops us out. He's out.
He's completely fine. What a strange engagement. At the same time, Gunner is getting ran around mid, but
Ocean's here.
Ocean's here.
They kick Sammy back, but instead, they might lose Matthew. Sammy's starting to fall low once again. Tag team will come out. They're turning to do what they can onto HFN. Dude, if Gyro or Troll die here, this game is such a disaster. They will take down Dunha. They're looking for Matthew, but they don't have the movement speed to close that gap.
Yeah, if either carry dies at this point, it's going to be disastrous for each side, but it all started off with that pull that they were able to get off and drag those Dire Heroes out just a little bit further. And now I think they have the advantage on Zoomers. They need to be so careful if they want to walk up. The only strength is this gyrocopter missile that really spells what's going on, but now that there are heroes here to kill it, it's so much more difficult for them to actually get that spell off.
I mean, they're going to continue to try and harass out what they can in the bottom lane. The missile does actually connect on the Troll. Yeah, barely. But I think overall, lane's going pretty dang well for the side of NoPing. Mostly just this mid lane Mars having a fantastic time.
And yet again, even though Gunner is getting quite a lot of CS, he is going to have to go back for a lot more regen. That's the one struggle he has. Oh.
Matthew, bottom lane. Again, the tag team, the gap close, it's there. They've got a Fire Blast available. Perfectly stunned up on the Earth Spirit, and they'll pick up a second kill here on Sammy. And this is the level 2 tag team is what this was, right? Just so much damage coming out from this spell. And again, the CM, she cannot get out of position ever this game.
And you'll see her rotating out, refilling up Dark Mago's bottle, but you're exactly right. If he ever gets gone on, and you see the gyro, he's just trying to stack for himself. He's trying to get anything going for him, and they're stacked. And this is a big fight. Dark Mago got it.
Yeah, it might actually find the kill here onto Gunner. He's going to dissimulate up onto his ramp, but he's in pursuit. Nice shard there, trying to wrap all the way around. I mean, you got to make a pretty big dive here to get on top of this Void Spirit.
Oh, Gunner's terrified. Yeah, he's very afraid.
He's actually going to wait for the Tusk to go all the way to base and then TP to refill his bottle.
Same time top.
And they're going on Brax. He's trying to get the TP, and he makes it. Oh, man. And you force the HFN to the top lane. So it's a success. He's level 2.5.
And again, this is what we were worried about. Now Sammy, he has no opponent. Once Oscar is able to get this bounty rune, he might just start walking back to base. But now, even though the Death Prophet is eking up on this level 5, it doesn't matter.
Sammy caught Dark Mago. Tag team's out again. Beautiful shard block. The question is, can they finish him off? The Resonant Pulse. I mean,
that's the one lane that you were winning. That was the one dominant lane where they had to run from you, and that's such a bad death to lose. Oh boy.
Yeah, like we were talking earlier, we knew the Tusk was gonna TP back to the mid lane to refill the bottle, and just gets us shards from out of vision, sets up an easy tag team, and the amount of damage that comes out there is just too much. He has 0 points in that bulwark, 3 points in the spear.
While the carries will both recover in the side lanes, you always need to be afraid of these rotations. And oh, Dunha, they have to be a little bit careful, but okay, they weren't able to get the block off.
Just gonna kick a boulder back. Very upset with how rude they're being. I mean, you got to be so terrified if you're Matthew in this bottom lane. Like, he is just food for this Troll Warlord +1. But now that Oscar's here, it's a little bit better. 6-minute power runes about to spawn. Gunner wins the 50-50 and gets a DD rune just before level 6. This is the absolute dream.
And now with Dark Mago popping his 6 as well, that's when we're going to see these guys get active. Nice
Yeah.
TP in from the Dunha.
He just extends way too far on that Troll Warlord and eats a full Spirit Siphon.
Radiant have fortified their
And he just got really greedy. And Husky isn't the best hero defensively. He's not able to tank a lot of damage. And he just, yeah, exactly, overextended himself, got dove. I think he got kicked underneath the tower. That was the big misplay. At the same time, they're winning top as well. It feels like NoPing are pulling back the lanes a little bit as they finally got the matchups they want, and HFN's recovering.
Well, they're able to find a mid lane once again. The DD rune finally comes out. Ocean's rotation. Using that tag team, the snowball to close the gap, and they've killed the Mars now twice. Despite him being the top CS, he is nowhere near this Void Spirit in net worth. And last game, it was the opposite, right? Gunnar definitely struggled at the very start of the game. And he's got Astral Steps forward for Dunha here, and with this DD rune still available, there's no chance. He'll take a second.
And Gunnar's just snowballing, and you see Dark Mago doesn't even TP back mid. He wants to get active, and if they can get this kill on Sammy, this is huge.
Fire Blast.
No.
He's out. He is just fast enough with that single point in the Berserker's Rage. They will go ahead and arena up the Husky. And that's a constellation kill. Like we talked about last game, getting those arenas off and finding a kill is better than none. Top lane HFN might be in trouble. The tag team is there. Brax, he's got Roar, will close the gap, and they're going to have to TP in Oscar here on the Death Prophet. Exorcism still available for a little bit longer, and now Beastmaster is going to be the one that goes down instead. A great rotation here from the Death Prophet to keep this Gyro alive.
And Oscar, he's keeping him in the game at this point. Able to turn that pretty bad Exo into anything was super important. Oh, and Gunnar's in a precarious spot, but Dark Mago needs to be so scared of him. He just does so much damage. Husky might fall again, though.
He has a haste rune. I think he's not too worried. Yeah, he'll just spirit back the Ogre. They'll end up revealing all 4 heroes there, and Gunnar's just going to go back to the mid lane.
And that's what they need to keep on doing. They need to keep finding these very clean rotations, finding kills on Brax. He doesn't actually have his Necro yet. We're seeing a much slower Beastmaster this time around. And at the same time, Ocean needs to get involved. He needs to stay involved. But they're playing on this top lane so well.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to snowball and do what he can, but just incredible rotations once again from Oscar and getting up behind these heroes. Brax, he's going to be fine. He has a salve available to make it underneath the tower, but these 3 heroes at the top lane, making it very difficult for him to try and just farm up his Necro book. I mean, he is really far behind where he would like to be, and he had a decent start.
And they saw that he canceled his TP on Gunnar. They're just going to dive him.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll get their second kill here in the top lane once again. Oscar's starting to fall quite low, though. Ends up going down. At least he gets something back.
So it's very unfortunate. It's a good play, though. They did see Gunnar cancel his TP, so they're just going to punish him for everything it's worth. And they are going to start mopping up these T1 towers with the Troll. With the... Actually, they're going to give up top. Not going to push it anymore without DP.
Mid lane, Dark Mago in trouble once again. It's just this... Ocean has now killed Mars 3 times. And he's looking for more.
Plus the step.
Yeah. He's looking for more. If he gets this Walrus Punch, Matthew in some serious trouble. Oscar, no silence, but they get the silence from the Earth Spirit and just blow him up. He's going to go for the snowball. I mean, they're pinging. They know where it's going to go, and it ends up going all the way to the creep there. But Ocean, I don't know if he can get out of this one. Wow. All right. They'll find him. They turn the Exo on. They're going to go straight for the tier 1 mid.
When Dunha involved in 8 of the 9 kills, he is really the catalyst for a lot of these fights, and he's been getting these perfect rotations into kills. And
nice arena. Finds the Beastmaster. Matthew goes down in the process to the summons, but, I mean, you're very happy about that.
And with the carts coming in with the Exo, this just feels like a perfect rotation again. NoPing are playing very quick. They're being very succinct with their rotations. Garn's just trying to kill the creeps at this point, trying to keep them off the tower.
Yeah. Yeah, he's doing a great job. It is a lot of space for Troll. I mean, he has had so much time to continue to farm here. He has these treads, the Possessed Mask, of course, like we talked about earlier, and he's just going straight for that Battle Fury. 4,350 net worth at about 10 minutes. Not the most farmed we've seen someone today, but, I mean, you're pretty happy about that. Going to stack up the Ancients there.
And that's what we will see, and we need to continuously see these 4 Zoomers heroes sync up. and try and get as much farm out of the map as they can while Gunner's fighting, while Ocean are trying to make the space. And if they get another punish on him, it's a good silence.
Yeah,
What a
they
kick.
got him. Beautiful play. Ocean came in, tried to go for that snowball save, and ends up just going to go down himself.
I tipped Dunha as well. That was a crazy, a mid-rolling boulder silence into a kickback to orient the spear for Dark Mago. That was actually perfectly done. And that's the punish where you're going to lose objectives off of those kills. And for Zoomer's rebuttal is there is no rebuttal. They have to go to the sidelines. They have to push it in. And this is the style that they're very pleased with. But if NoPing continuously catch him in those rotations, we're going to start seeing their more active heroes start to shine. And they're just going to keep butting their head up against his 3. And they need to be careful. They have Arena.
They do, but a nice... Oh, that is a super deep shards. Gunner able to astral step out. A nice snowball. The roar ends up coming out onto Mars, but there's no follow-up damage quite yet. They're TPing in on the Ogre, but this is taking forever. Another Frostbite onto that Void Spirit. A nice Remnant, though, making space for him as they chase after Dark Mago, and now with Sammy rotating on in, they will just back on out on NoPing.
It's unfortunate. If he gets the spear off on anyone there, I think he's finally able to walk out. If he's able to clear a little bit more summons, it's unfortunate they lose the Mars in that engagement, but they don't want to push yet. They don't want to push into this mid tower. I believe they're waiting for a little bit more necro creeps, and being here's a little bit risky, but DD on Gunner, yeah, he's scary.
He's basically baiting the Earth Spirit there, right, with that Remnant.
Yeah.
Yeah, you will respect the amount of catch that they have. Brax busy pushing bottom. Necro 1 only completed. I think Necro 2 on... No, he's not even close to the Necro 2. Yeah, he is very much...
see the smoke.
Yeah, that's pretty nice. Mizzle coming mid. Going to be able to catch the Ogre. The tower should fall here finally. Not too bad. They're definitely looking for Brax once again. I mean, he's got TP.
I feel like we've seen these bottom array of trees so many times here. And now he's got the boar scouting out in case a smoke finds someone. They got him with the scan.
I mean, his boars are going to give him vision, I believe. Is it? Oh my gosh. Yeah, he sees it, but now he finally gets caught. Beautiful combination once again from NoPing.
What a sick pick. He really thought he was safe. He thought there wouldn't be any chance, but they might be able to punish the Mars. Dark Mago needs to get out fast.
Yeah, counter smoke coming in. He's got a spear available, but the Remnant there, plus the tag team. The shards to try and catch the CM, but she jukes through the trees there, so she's going to be fine. A nice counter gank. Gyro's catching up, though, man.
Yeah, Gyro, he's just sat in this top lane. He made the rotation mid to finish off that tower, and we're going to hopefully see him start getting involved in a lot of these fights, getting the possessed mask as well. There's really no reason for him to slow down at this point. But it's a rough Mars game now. You've sort of fallen behind in levels. You're not very tanky. You're not that Kunkka we saw in the last game where it would almost feel perfect this time around, where you're just that secondary tanky hero to sit in front of the Gyro. Whereas in this game, it's really the Death Prophet. You have to be scared of NoPing spells, but I think it's scary. You're putting your eggs in this Troll Warlord Battle Fury. You need to be getting a lot of farm out on the map, and it's really just Ocean Gunner. They've been the dynamic duo this entire game.
He's gonna dive pretty deep here and might pay for this one. Gunner with the Yules will be able to stop Dark Mago from coming in, and as a result, Ocean TP's out. A real spicy play, but now Gunner in trouble for a moment, has Astral Step. And they bait out the rotation.
Not even going to be forced to use anything else. That was just perfect cover coming out from Gunner. That was just beautiful.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
So far, I mean, not even 1K. It's only a few hundred gold advantage here for NoPing. Net worth and XP both extremely close in this game, and it makes sense. I mean, these teams very evenly matched, evident by game 1.
And even in game 1, I feel like a lot of it has to deal to the Zoomers just edging out in the draft. And again, they're playing the lineup exactly how they want to be playing it, though. Brax, we always see him. He sits in his off lane for so long. He's just able to get so much farm, so much space. And again, it's up to NoPing. They're the aggressors. They need to make a lot of these plays, whereas Zoomers, they'll take what they can get because they've got this Battle Fury troll farming. They've got this Boots of Travel done on the Void Spirit, and they get to play so much more aggressive when they get to group up as 4, sit one hero in a lane, and still make these very easy rotations. And again, it's almost the same story as last game. We're just seeing Brax giving his summons to the Inner Beast and just pushing down this T2 and gets a free glyph for it.
Yeah, absolutely. The one thing to say, though, is NoPing has done a really good job at making some big rotations, finding some big kills here, which is definitely why we're seeing such an even game so far. They're going to pop the Exorcism top lane, try and pressure the tier 2 themselves. Husky, Bloodlust in this tower. They do have the Fortification themselves. He is going to go ahead and just stun up the Gyro. Fortification does come out. I mean, this tower flak is going to do some serious work. There's a nice arena, though. Keep it alive, and it blocks the rest of the tower shots, keeping HFN alive and... They take down Husky. Gunner now. Got to be careful. Got no spells left. Ocean rotating in. Pops the tag team. There's the Walrus Punch, sending Dark Mago to the skies. And now Sammy just beating down Matthew. That freezing field ain't going to do anything. Doonha caught a roar. Trying to roll himself away, but the body blocks are there. Roll in 1 second. Can he make it out? No, another block by Ocean. Well played here by the Zoomers. They end up punishing this very heavily, getting 3 for 1.
And again, you have this tool that you didn't have in the last game. You have the Exo that makes the push so much easier, but that flak must have done at least 1,200 damage. It just cleaved down the hero so low, and without the BKB on HFN, you don't have that timing. You need to wait a little bit longer, and for Zoomers, even though they're very small kills and it's only 17 minutes into the game, they're kills that lead to more farm, that lead to the Zoomers continuing to spiral, and this is the exact type of game they like to play.
Yeah, normally I would pull up the death summary, but death summary has been broken for like a week now, and it's kind of annoying. So I wasn't actually able to see how much damage the tower did to like the Mars, for instance. But HFN took like 6 bloodlusted tower shots and was only kept alive because the arena absorbed like 2 of them. Yeah, it was a really smart play there from the Zoomers.
It's a dive onto it was a dive onto Husky, and Gunner was there to immediately give a little bit of chase, and they just get to arrive at their own leisure. They stop farming for maybe a minute, and they immediately go back as soon as they're done, and it feels like they're getting so much out of the map, whereas every single time NoPing, they try to make a move, they either need to smoke, they need to expend something to get these plays going, and Dark Mega with the Yules, he is able to find something, but again, 1, 6, and 7, it feels like he's struggling to make any plays happen where he's the winner, where he's getting the XP from these kills. It's just been Ocean and Gunner. They've really just ruined his game, it feels like.
Yeah, they really have. They knew he would be one of the big playmakers this game. And as a result, I mean, Ocean did such a great job at targeting him. And they get, you know, the bottom tier 2. Eventually, they're able to protect their top tier 2. So they have the outpost advantage here going into the 20-minute mark. And with where they're positioned on the map, 4 Zoomers have no intention of giving that up. Bottom lane, Matthew's just dead.
Oh,
he freezing fielded the Necro creep and lost 2/3 of his health, and Ocean with a nice little Walrus Punch cleaves him down.
And again, it's just these forcing plays, and you force those heroes bot, you see them, and you just see the Zoomers envelop the other side of the map. They take everything, and Sammy Boy's just hitting Roche. He's very confident right now with all those TPs being forced. They know they have to walk in a straight line to get back to him, and it's gone.
Yeah, good old tag team troll. That's a classic. They're rotating in to try and stop this, but they have a Remnant here on the high ground, Husky on the low ground, and Roshan is just dead. They give it to Gunner. They go ahead and pop that Exorcism. Doonha on the backside does what he can with that Magnetize, but just getting beat down. Beautiful arena catching 2. Brax unable to get the roar off. They will be able to snowball for a moment to try and save them. Double kills so far for Oscar. I mean, Gunner, he's got to get out of here. Maybe he goes into the rush pit. No, he goes north right into the Earth Spirit. 1 Astral Step still available. He's just going to go ahead and take him down. Remnant is available. He still has the Aegis. The question is, can they help him? Oh, boy. Oscar able to take down Sammy. Now Gunner is all alone.
Bad.
He has a Dissimulate and Yules to try and dodge. He has the Yules now. But it's going to be so hard. He's going to get speared. Yeah, really well played here. Oscar with an ultra kill to round out this fight. You get the Roshan, but at what cost?
And that's the issue with 4 Zoomers lineup, where as soon as you snowball, as soon as you see them coming, you almost need to cut chase. You need to run. And Gunner wasn't even able to make it out with the Aegis. And This is the strength of the Mars versus all of these heroes in the game where you got that arena, 3 heroes in it, they're stuck, they sat in the snowball for a little bit, but you're still in the arena, you're still taking so much damage, and if anything, Oscar 10-1-6, he's having a fantastic game. He's the monster right now, and levels are so important on this hero. If he's able to spark that level 18, they need to burst him, they need to focus, and if anything, it felt like they sort of threw away a lot of their lead there, where Zoomers had a very good grip on the map, but they got greedy with that play, trying to get the Roche after forcing those TPs bottom and heavily punished for it. Just a great reaction from NoPing.
Yeah, and Sammy committed the battle trance for the Roshan, right? So there was no chance of getting the battle trance off to 1v1 out that Death Prophet, and that extra sustain from that Exorcism as well as the Spirit Siphon, she just wins that battle.
I don't even think Brax was able to get Aurora on the target he wanted to. I think he roared the DP walking into the pit to try and just keep her away, and
I don't think he roared at all.
You think he died before?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he died in the arena.
Beastmaster.
Yeah, I think he...
super unfortunate.
I'm pretty sure I watched him try and find a target, but ended up just never getting a chance.
And that's the issue we discussed slightly in draft, just where the team fight on NoPing is fearsome. If they're able to get their spells off, if they're able to play around no Zoomer's non-existent BKBs, they'll start going them now, but it feels like in a game where you shouldn't have greeted out for it, let's say Sammy Boy has a BKB after that Battle Fury, maybe they're able to make that aggressive Roche play, but instead, it feels like the timings are now coming online for NoPing, and with the superior team fight, they should be able to get some of these buildings back.
All right, they smoke up here on Ocean and Brax. The main reason you got the BKB being delivered here on Sammy. He grabs that Invis rune, and he is ready to fight. Level 4 Bloodlust, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, it's only level 2 Bloodlust. Never mind.
Tower is under attack.
Still quite a bit of attack speed and movement speed.
Tower has fallen.
And they're still slightly scared to fight directly into the Zoomers. They don't know about the BKB either. It's going to just be Brax looking, but I don't know if they're going to bite. If anything, NoPing just needs to dodge the fight. They need to wait for this HFN BKB. Once he has it, then he's not afraid of pretty much anything. He doesn't need to worry about the blind, and then he'll be able to kite back that Troll Warlord, whereas that's the biggest issue for NoPing right now. Is once that Troll Warlord pops his ultimate, they've got nothing versus the BKB. They just need to play around this timing very solidly. And then, again, they have the superior team fight, and they actually might just go up high ground. They might try to force Zoomers back. The double glyph's been used.
Yeah, I think that's definitely the way to do it. They've got the Exorcism. Well, they end up just TPing back on Matthew.
They're going on mid.
They're going looking mid, yeah. They caught Void Spirit for a moment, but the Remnant's going to stop the Mars Gunner. He gets silenced, but he has his BKB and his Astral Steps. He's going to be fine. They're trying to chase after him, but it's not going to happen.
Just one step behind. If Dark Mage was able to get that Yules, he doesn't have anything to really spirit through, but it's enough to maybe get the silence from Dunha into the role. As we've seen time and time again, Earth Spirit's the one hero. You pick it versus Void, you pick it versus Puck, and he's able to get that disable. But now NoPing, I think they're trying to fight. They want to put the pressure on. I think BKB might be coming out for HFN. They're very aggressive right now.
Yeah, I mean, this is really smart of them. I mean, they're like you said, they have the team fight advantage. If you are NoPing here, and they are just taking tower after tower, and yes, you do have Brax putting a lot of pressure on this top lane, but mid lane, if they catch HFN here, he's got no BKB. Oscar immediately pops the Exorcism. Gunner pops his BKB. The cooldown comes down, but HFN falling low. Magatize trying to do what he can, but he goes down in the end. Sammy turns on that battle treads, looking for Oscar. He gets a Yules there to keep him alive for the moment, but a nice Remnant pulling him back. Sammy pinned against the wall. No BKB left. Oscar, he's surviving. He's get the double Spirit Siphon. He's able to survive for the time being, but Sammy, he's going down. The Glimmer Cape not going to be enough. A beautiful arena from Dark Mago. They're just splitting the fight in half, and now Gunner going back in. Can he finish the Death Prophet off in time? They do exactly that, and now Mars surrounded. Nice Frostbite there onto Gunner. 11 HP. The high ground miss. No!
He missed.
Ends up being a triple kill for Brax. Cleanup crew on the way.
Oh, if they ended up getting kited into the Brax summons, they just walked through everything. If he was able to stay alive a few more moments, he would have had another siphon into the Yules on the Death Prophet. This is so close, though. Oh my goodness, the team fight breaking out. And that was with HFN getting pretty much decimated at the beginning of the fight. He was able to trade out with Ocean immediately, but still, you have to be so scared of this NoPing team fight. But at the same time, they're so cooldown reliant. Zoomers are just going to be able to farm up. They're going to be able to do whatever they want. And Gunner, the big winner of that fight, he has so much gold now to work with.
Yeah, he's a kid in a candy store right now. He's just walked in, got that $10 bill allowance from his parents, and is like, "Oh yeah, baby, time to spend the monies." Oh, they get the dive into the stun. All right, 2 deaths in a row for the gyro is disastrous. I mean, this is like the worst thing that can happen for NoPing. He's so close to BKB, man.
And that's why he was TPing out. After they tried for that aggressive play mid, it's just a snowball now. The BKB is just going to feel so much slower, and it's similar to the 40R Tiny game earlier, where you just get your BKB 1-2 minutes late. Big.
Gunner's just going to get a second kill here. I mean, this was such a sick play from Husky. The setup in the mid lane, he's just hiding in the trees. And now Duna rolls in, but he rolls right into a 3x multicast. Gunner gets himself a double kill.
And they just need to stop. They need a hard reset. They've just fed a few too many kills. They've got Exo in what? They used their arena, so they'll probably wait for that. Exo's up in 3 seconds, but still, these kills you're feeding versus the Zoomers. This is the easy part of the game as well, where
they caught Dark Mago. Dude, these hawk dives from Brax are doing so much work. Walrus Punch still available. He has a remnant to pull him back in, but they respect the high ground. Oh, maybe they don't. In comes Gunner, and he's pinned down, but a beautiful shard actually might be enough to keep him alive, and he jumps back through Dark Mago. He dies to the roar damage. Brax caught in place. Freezing Field will be able to trade. They get the Exo, though. If they can disengage and not lose anything else, this is a huge win for the Zoomers.
And I think they're chasing. They're trying for it. They saw the courier, and he's so fast on Oscar, but again, they get the Exo. They get a Beastmaster in return. They lose Dark Mago at the end of the day. Well, he's playing with fire, but
he turns around with BKB. He doesn't care. Death Prophet hasn't gotten a lot of damage out from this Exorcism. It may not heal her all that much. She got a lot of damage on the creeps just there. Never mind. And now they're looking for Ogre on the backside. Ocean as well. Trapped in his own shards, trying to get out, but not going to be lucky. Just a double kill for HFN there. Zoomer's not respecting that damage.
Sammy.
He has BKB. He could turn if he gets help, but he's got no help.
If anything, that was the turn. They were expecting Sammy to get over there and then be able to show up to that fight a little bit earlier, but Gunner, he was afraid. He had his BKB running again. He's been using his BKBs quite a lot, but still, he's getting so much done in these fights, and well, you do get 2 consolation kills on the supports. Sammy's been farming the entire time. Brax was able to respawn. You weren't able to get any towers, and Roshan is going to refocus the map. Oh, DD on Gyro. This is the timing for NoPing, however. Double BKB finished on both their cores. They don't need to worry about this Void Spirit for maybe one more fight, but they need to be so quick. They need to kill them. They need to kill them during their BKBs and not let the Zoomers get out, and that's the big problem. If they're not able to get a good arena down, then they're just able to walk out on the Zoomers. They need to keep them held down there, as there's no BKB on Brax yet. That's the good side, but still, it feels so difficult for them to engage versus these Hawks. Brax has just been a monster with the vision game.
Tier 3 jungle items dropping here. We're going to see that Psychic Headband, Enchanted Quiver, Ceremonial Robe for NoPing. Now on the Dire, what do they get? Mindbreaker, Orb of Destruction, an Elven Tunic for the Troll. You know, you love to see it if you're Troll Warlord here. And then a Psychic Headband from the Ogre, and just more cast range.
And you see, it's just the Menagerie walking around with a Frozen Sigil, just clearing up the map. They have to defend their vision a little bit, and it just feels like they're losing out on everything. And while they lose these Necro Creeps, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I mean, you do have the Bottle DD rune here on HFN, which gives you a huge advantage in this next fight if you get to take it. Gunner going for an Octarine core, it seems. Dark Mago has that BKB, going for the Blink Dagger next. So he is a lot more survivable in the fight now with that BKB.
Well, similar to the previous game where Gunner, he has Boots of Travel, he gets to play wherever he wants, he gets to farm as much as he wants, while his team is almost in deadlock with the other side. And this Roche respawning in 20, this is the big objective. This is what everybody needs to be scared of, but you have this pressure on your bottom tower. But NoPing, they can't break it. They need to stay here in full force. Oh, Sammy?
Yeah, I mean, yes, he's going to eat that spear, but team's en route, and You gotta be careful. Gunnar just goes in, connecting onto a couple right away. Brax trying to find the roar target, looking for the death prophet, and that is an easy pick off, and you just roll right into your death there. Sammy has zero chill, already committed that battle trance and the BKB though. He's in some trouble. Frostbite's there. They chain stun him down. Sammy will bite the dust, and now Gunnar looking for some more kills here as he is just surrounding Matthew with the help of his team. He's looking for HFN on the backside, and it looks like he's found him. The DD comes out. Is that a second roar? They didn't even roar in the first place. Oh my goodness.
Oh no, the dieback.
And that's going to be a dieback. You are right. Dark Mago comes in to try and offer some assistance. I thought for sure they roared the DP, but I guess she just took a big fire blast. I don't know.
It was Fire Blast, it was Aether Remnant, it was the roots coming in from Sammy, and again, the supporting cast for Zoomers, you had to pop everything to kill Sammy there. You popped your BKBs, you popped everything just to get your spells off, and that's the Void Spirit that we know, that's the Void Spirit we hate, where everything just revolves around him, and even though you're able to mop up Sammy with that HFN BKB, it's kited out. You have no control afterwards, and you're just playing into the hands of the Zoomers, and it's going to happen again. They're going to get dragged to the pit as soon as Sammy Boy's alive, and I can't help but feel like Gunnar, he's just too powerful. And Oscar just getting dragged to the low ground, it just wasn't a good enough jump from Doonha. They weren't able to find that initial initiation. And man, this just feels so bad now for NoPing.
Yeah, absolutely. And Gunnar finishes up that Aether Lens, working towards that Octarine. He'll have it in about 1,200 gold. And now you got the Solar Crest for Brax. So, you know, if you somehow manage to survive the roar before, now it's not going to be, it's going to be a lot more difficult.
And it feels like they need to smoke out. They need to find some sort of initiation. They did it without their Mars just because the Sammy Boy could have been hitting this in the entire time, but instead they're looking for the fight. They're doing exactly what they need to do. Is there's no pressure for the Zoomers to really in the Roche pit. They can take the fight out. They can continue to have this crazy control, and there is a good ward scouting out Sammy Boy if he does decide to walk into the pit, and they're going to ping him out, but
oh, they pop the smoke.
they're breaking it.
Oh, they're so worried. It's just Husky throwing his body in, and Gunnar just jumps the backline. He's BKB is out, and in comes Sammy. He's just going to start chewing through these heroes. Oscar evaporated, and there's the roar. The Walrus Punch onto Dark Mago. They get little to no spells off at all. It's just a 4 for 0.
They just got pulled through it. Again, perfect vision. They cut down the trees. They have this insane ward that sees everything. And NoPing, there's just nothing. There's no rebuttal. They can't do anything at this point. And it just feels like all the pressure was on Doonha this game to get something going in these team fights. And now they're going to take it the slow way. They're going to get this Roshan on Sammy Boy. But at the same time, you look at the supporting cast. They're hitting 2 tier 3 towers at the same time. They still have Glyph, but they're not even using it.
Oh boy,
it
he
really
found
feels
Doonha.
bad.
They really want this kill for some reason. I mean, he's sending the Hawk in to try and cancel the TP, but doesn't happen. Sammy will finish up the Roshan. Grabs himself Aegis Cheese, picked up by Ocean. Meanwhile, mid lane of Barracks is gone, and they're going to continue the work onto the top lane. And it's just so easy with this Brax, and mid lane, they're just going to jump the Earth Spirit. Gunnar's got so much damage that...
25.
Yeah, I was going to say, the stun that comes out from that Dissimulate, he's now going to choose for Matthew. Dissimulate's only a second off. The chain stuns are there.
Come on.
They are in a world of hurt here on NoPing.
And if anything, it's Meg. Is this going to be the last hurrah we're going to see in a second here? I don't think there's anything they can do. If it's not Megas, it might just be the game.
I mean, there's the Abyssal right on the Oscar. They've got a roar available. They don't even need it. The chain stuns are there. Sammy's going to pop that Battle Trance. Look for the base. He's going right in. He just doesn't care. Roar right onto the Gyrocopter. Sammy just fountain diving. The GGs are out, though. The game is over. The Zoomers will take the series 2-0.
And just an absolute dominant performance. They got everything they wanted. It just felt like they had the upper hand in both drafts. Like they were able to make these plays. You allowed Brax to play Beastmaster twice in a row in a series. And I think that's a massive mistake that you just can't let happen. And the several times they were pulling it back. If anything, it was Oscar, the one shining light where you had this incredibly strong Death Prophet who was able to run you down, was able to get a lot of physical damage out, but you just weren't able to leverage this Mars. Dark Mago had one of the roughest times I think we've seen him have in the BTS Pro Series, and it just felt like it wasn't enough. All the pressure was on Doonha, then he was the really only secondary initiation, and Four Zoomers just came out stronger on every side.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I mean, that's a great summary. The Four Zoomers, I think came out ahead of both drafts here, and then just executed their drafts pretty much perfectly. And NoPing just fell a little bit short today. And I think you were right in saying that Oscar was pretty much the last hope here for their team, as Dark Mago just got punished so heavily by Ocean on this Tusk over and over. Like those 3 deaths back to back after he was the only person having a good lane. Like they saw what was what their only issue was going to be that Mars, and Ocean just shuts it down. He's like, not today. I'm going to make sure we win this game. Yeah, an incredible performance from them. Absolutely.
And even just the lane shenanigans, able to get exactly what they want. And we did see it reset for a little bit, but at that point, Brax, he has his Necro, he has his level 6, he's able to do whatever he wants. And again, it just felt like Sammy Boy got to farm. He got to do Sammy Boy things. He hit creeps for, 34 minutes, and then he won the game. And there's not much to say other than that.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty good. You know, why not? Now, one thing we can take a look at is our bracket here for the tournament, as we've now finished the first stage of both the lower and the upper bracket. Undying taking this morning series 2-0 over SG Esports, and will now be going against 4 Zoomers in a couple of days, as they took the 2-0 here against NoPing. Now, tomorrow we have our lower bracket series, going to be 2 more elimination games, SG Esports versus Penta Ace, and then NoPing versus The Cut. So these are going to be 2 incredible series. Both of these, or all 4 of these teams, like obviously want to try and keep their tournament lives aligned and make their way through the lower bracket and have a chance at taking on, you know, either Undying or 4 Zoomers in that grand finals. But 4 incredibly skilled teams for where we are right now. I mean, this is an incredible showing so far this tournament.
And I'm just very excited for the games tomorrow. Seeing The Cut play, seeing Penta Ace play, and if anything, seeing NA emerge a little bit a step ahead so far. I mean, Undying and Zoomers, that's really going to be the game to watch in a few days here as we see who's going to bounce back. And there can only be one winner. Of course, my money's on Undying, but we'll see about that, I guess.
We'll see what happens. Yeah, it's going to be an amazing series indeed. But hey, we've made it to the end of the second day of playoffs here. It's been an absolute blast. 4 great games, and we got a lot more Dota coming up later this week. As we talked about, tomorrow's lower bracket eliminations will be going on, and I believe ET and myself will be right back here, same time, same place tomorrow. So definitely make sure to tune in for that. Any final thoughts, ET, before we let all the viewers go for the night?
The Cut. Watch The Cut. see what they can do. I saw on their Twitters yesterday they said they weren't feeling great. They didn't play too well. I know they can do better. That's the game to watch. NoPing versus The Cut. Let's do it.
Awesome. All right, y'all heard it. Thank you all so much for tuning in. We will see you all tomorrow with more of the BTS Pro Series Season 5. Big shout out to BTS for hosting this tournament in the first place and giving us a platform here to cast on. We hope you all enjoyed it, and we will see you all tomorrow. Have a wonderful day.